Hi everybody, welcome back live in the Woods of Renaissance with me, Sid, and we are just about, well, I better not do that because I'm going to walk straight into a creeper or something. We are about to go and get a bobbo, and we're going to head out to get some more migmatite and maybe some more chert. I'm going to need a wee bit because I'm going to go back and continue on the underwater section of our kingdom, for want of a better word, our place, our thing. But yeah, so, but I'm a little bit short, definitely short on the migmatite, and more than a little bit short on chert. Now migmatite, I am pretty certain we can get over this way, avoiding all quicksand and hazards thrown in our way, and I've decided to go back to the thing with the how do I put this, the thing with building underwater in Minecraft is it's a pain. Let's not beat around the bush. It's an absolute pain in the backside. So consequently, I don't like, I'll rephrase that, it's not can't, I don't like, here we go, come on, there we go. I don't like going and doing extensive underwater building sessions, because, yeah, I first said, pain in the backside. And for that matter, when you're building, and this is a personal preference, there is no particular, hello migmatite, oh there's so much of you, look at this, it's everywhere. Personal preference when I'm building in Minecraft is I like to have multiple projects underway. Why multiple projects? Well, if you have multiple projects, you don't get bored of them. Now, I once heard a rather nice reference, and I do use it a little bit, and that is that boredom is a sign of a limited intelligence. I don't necessarily believe this, by the way, and if I'm offending anybody, well, tough. Chert is right next to this, excellent. But I don't, generally speaking, find that I get bored, because I always have something to do. Whether it's reading a book, or you know, watching something on TV or on YouTube, or whatever it may be, it doesn't bother me. All right, and this church as well, excellent. We'll have that while we're at it. I might get this marble while we're here. Why not? Let's have the lot. But yeah, so I mean, I'm a huge reader. If you didn't know, I read all the time. I have Kindle on my phone. I have a Kindle e-reader which I take on holiday and on longer trips, you know, when the phone is not necessarily a viable option for the reading. Because let's face facts, it's a fairly small screen. It's great if I want to sit there and I'm waiting for, I don't know, dentist, whatever it may be, and you know, and I just need to read something quick, or I want to just pull something out and read a few pages or a chapter or something while I'm waiting. It's ideal, but it's not really good for long-term reading. I can't, or don't like sitting there reading for hours on the thing. I'd rather get the e-reader out, which is obviously much better because it was designed for that, and all these wonderful things. Look at all this migmatite is everywhere. So yeah, so consequently, I read a lot. I don't get bored. If I'm not reading, I'll watch, you know, videos of the certain YouTubers I like to watch. You know, obviously, some of you will know I like to watch Rorax. You know, I'm not so much on. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. I watch periodically will watch YouTubers like Etho and the likes, but I'm not a big one. I prefer some of the smaller fish, little fishes, or in some cases very small fishes. You know, just because Ethos has plenty of viewers, he doesn't need. You know, you don't want to. I mean, I'm not one of these people who go, "Oh, don't do what I say, or I'm going to unsubscribe," because that's like, you know, that's like a molecule complaining about the way it's being treated with some of the big YouTubers out there. You know, it's not a threat, realistically. But yeah, so I don't know. And if I'm not doing that, I can be thinking up new ideas for what I'm going to record. I mean, yes, face facts, I spend on average, yeah, probably in excess of 40 hours a week recording. In addition to the 40 hours a week, slightly over 40 hours when you take in travel time, I spend working, and then all the personal life things that, you know, you have to have as well, because otherwise you'd just be a sad Billy no mates. Yeah, that's me. But yeah, so consequently, you know, I don't get bored, and I find it very difficult to understand how people manage to get bored in this day and age with so much available to us. You know, we have all these wonderful entertainment media, we have the internet, we've got books, we've got websites, we've got TV, we've got more TV than we've ever had, and yet people are going, "Oh, I'm bored." And it's like, really? I don't like playing Minecraft anymore, I'm bored of it. Well, and this is what, if you find you're getting bored of a game, whether it be Minecraft or any other game, if you're getting bored of it, here is probably what you're doing wrong. You're playing it too much. You're doing it to exclusion of all else. Vary your interests, get lots of things to do, and you'll be fine. I mean, reading wise, it's not just certain types of books I like to read. I like to read fantasy, I like to read science fiction. On occasions, I like to read comedy and some autobiographies. I'm not a big one for factual or fact-based things and biographies. The world is unpleasant enough. I don't really need to read about it. You know, it's like the same way I'm not a big one for the news, because the news is not particularly pleasant. It's all about bad news. You know, when was the last time you actually sat there and saw the headline item on the local or national news being about something actually nice? When? I can't remember the last time I saw that. I'm going to stick a torch down there. It's increasingly rare. You know, the news is all doom and gloom. So, you know, I don't tend to follow the news a lot, but I do follow other things. And I do like to read a lot. And I like to read a lot about things where people have made things up, because made up is usually a damn sight nicer and better than the real world. So, yeah, I think I've probably got enough Migmatite now. I probably need to transfer onto Chert. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know whether what you guys' favourite books are, or authors, or types of books, but for me, I'm a huge nerdy fan of Terry Pratchett, and hello. I'll make no apologies for that one, Sir Terry. You will be missed. I always think it was. I mean, obviously, it's a shame when anybody dies. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. You know, death it's inevitable. It is the one guarantee, an alienable human right we have. But I always think it was with Terry, because he was such an advocate of, I won't use the word assisted suicide. I don't like the word assisted suicide. Suicide to me, and certainly assisted suicide, implies, I don't know how to put this. It's because it is a sensitive subject for one. I mean, and I don't know how many how many people have actually know people who committed suicide. Personally, myself, oh God, this has turned morbid, hasn't it? Myself, I had a very old, well, a couple of friends actually who've committed suicide throughout the last 40 years. Only a couple, but you know, it's a couple too many. But you know, it's, to me, it doesn't sound like I would prefer to think of it as going with a little bit of dignity while you still can, rather than assisted suicide. And that's just the way I see it. I need to find some more chert. I think I've just about mined out the chert. No, yeah. Let's go and have a look over this way, see if we can't find cherty chert. But yeah, I would prefer to describe it as going with a little bit of dignity, because that's what Terry was talking about. He wasn't talking about people who are wanting to go for no reason, whether it's due to depression or whatever. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to diss depression. It's a very real illness. I do know this, and I'm not going to sit there and make fun out of anybody who has depression, because it is. And it's like, cool, I didn't know that was there. But I don't think it's a valid reason for suicidal tendencies, shall we say, or for a going with dignity. I think that is a case for help. I think, but when someone is terminally ill and they've got nothing to look forward to other than, you know, a slow, unpleasant, ooh, this is not a good way down, is it? Slow deterioration. Yeah, I think we need to be a little bit more open-minded, somewhat, than, wow, what we got going on down here? That looks like a cave in there. Wow, it is. There's nothing in there, mind, but there we go. A little bit of lignite block. Still not finding the chert. Where's the chert? Give me the chert. Whether there's chert over in that hillside over there. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Terry Pratchett. That's the long and short of it. I liked his early works. Colour of Magic and The Light Fantastic were okay. Obviously, we're going into very early works on that one, but they were a little bit too taking the piss of other genres of fantasy book, and almost National Lampoons like in their pursuit of that. Where's my horse? My horse is there. I'm probably going to take the horse over, I think, and then we'll come back. Other fantasy books, obviously, well, at the moment I am going pretty much through the entire Magician series by Raymond D. Feist. Yeah, I mean, all of it. The whole kit and caboodle. Chert, lovely. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I'm actually in the last trilogy, the Magician's End. Well, I can't remember what the actual trilogy is called now. The last book is called Magician's End, which probably gives you a clue as to where this is going. Oh dear. But yeah, so that's a biggie. In terms of science fiction, I'd have to go with. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that bit of marble as well, because I don't want it. I would have to go with people like Peter Hamilton, and I don't want that either. Go away. As a huge no, I've just done it again, haven't I? Right. Yeah. Peter Hamilton is a biggie. Obviously, Heinlein, Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke. I mean, you know, obviously a very formative sci-fi writer. But yeah, I love all kinds of books, and I've been known to pick up books that I probably would never have picked up just because I wanted something to read, and that was all there was. So I very rarely get bored. I think it's long and short. But anyway, do let me know what your favourite books are, because, you know, I'm always looking for new authors, preferably sci-fi or fantasy, Comedy is okay, obviously because Pratchett does that. I do like with the Pratchett books. I think some of my favourite ones have been some of the more recent ones. Sam Vimes Guards trilogy, especially the way Sam Vimes has developed as a character. He's become very dark, almost. Which, speaking of dark, so yeah, I'm a huge fan of those ones. And it was interesting. I don't know if anybody read the last book Terry wrote, the Shepherd's Crown, the Tiffany Aching book, which I always think it was a bit of a shame that it was a Tiffany Aching book, because I wasn't a big fan of. I wasn't a huge fan. I must admit, I did like the Tiffany Aching. I liked obviously the Pratchett wrote, but the Tiffany Aching books were not my favourite. The only real saving grace for that was the Knack Feagles, which were just an absolute genius literary construct. But it's interesting when you read the Tiffany Aching books, especially the last one, The Shepherd's Crown. You almost feel, well, you don't almost feel, you can actually feel Terry's sense of impending doom. It was, I mean, obviously the Shepherd's Crown, the Tiffany Aching book, was the death of Granny Weatherwax, one of Pratchett's oldest and probably most loved characters. And you almost get the feeling that he wouldn't have killed off Granny Weatherwax if he didn't know he was going himself, which he did know he was going. I don't think he knew he was going quite so imminently. How much more? Should we do a little bit more? I think we'll do a bit more. But yeah, he was a genius, and sadly will be sadly missed. Enough about that. We'll go with that. That's probably enough to keep us going. I'm going to head back. I'm going to stop talking about death and Terry Pratchett, and we'll get on and try and do some building and talking about building stuff and things and good stuff and happy things and buttercups and dandy daisies and flowers and stuff. Or we'll just get on with building. So I'm going to park the horse and put it back in the garage, and I will see you in a little while. Alright, we're down here underwater. Oh my god, I've just realised how much I can talk. And well, no, not how much I can talk. I always knew how much I could talk. How much I can talk and ramble, and actually not reach a point in what I was saying, which was a little bit of a shame, but there you go. But yeah, so do let me know in the comments what authors you like. You recommend any books you might think I might like. As I say, fantasy, sci-fi, they are my cup of tea. Now what I'm thinking of doing here is bringing out the tunnel and putting, I know this is very dark down here unfortunately, which makes life doubly difficult, but if I place most of these blocks down here and then maybe just quickly go and hide back inside, get some air, come back out and continue, then we can extend the tunnel around. Now this is going to come around and drop down, the other one is going to do the same, and then we'll, over the tunnel sections, I'm going to have some smaller pens. I think that's the way I'm going to try and do this. It's going to be a little bit more painful this way, but I'm going to sit there and stop rattling. It's impossible. I know you can't believe I'm going to stop rattling, but I am honest. I'm going to stop. I'm going to rattle no more, and I'm going to take these blocks here, because these ones are also carpenters. And then what we need to do, I think we'll come out about, well, maybe probably what I should probably do if I can get this. Well, there we go, thank you. Is come out to about here. That probably works. and we can, you know, just clear all of the space out around here up to this point. And then I need to obviously bring the let me just come out here and we'll come out one more. Well, at least then we can do that while we're working on it. But if I can get the tunnels in, and this in itself is going to be a fairly big job, but at least then we can work on the insides of the tunnels with a certain degree of impunity, I suppose. Oh, and that lighting has now updated. Come on. Right, and then we need to do the same on this side, obviously. But getting these in, then we'll have the pens, as I say, will be over the top and they'll be smaller. So we can try and catch Mr. Shark there, for example, who's going to try and attack me. I know he is. No? You're not coming? Oh, you think you are, don't you? Ha ha ha. Fooled you. Well, not technically, he did take a bite out of me. Yeah, so I'm going to work it like that, I think. And we can come down here, and this floor obviously needs replacing, but at least now I can back through this lot. Quite easily, and then we can continue on working around and get the undersea observation platform, because this really does work. You can see perfectly clearly. So if you were looking up and there were sharks and fish and all those sorts of goodies above you, you wouldn't feel too out of place. Now, what's that? They are carpenters. Well, they're all carpenters. That's fine. Couldn't remember whether they had to be all carpenters or not, but we can hop up there. We still got a little bit more. One, maybe two. Maybe another one, yep, and then maybe one more even, yeah. Yep, that's it. So, yeah, we've got to get this in, get this lit, get the tunnel built, and I'll be back again in what for you will be a few moments, but for me will probably be a few hours. Back in a while. Alright, well, we're making progress. It's not as much progress as I would like. This is taking a way long time. And I ran out of carpenter's blocks just to add insult to injury. So we're almost round this point here. If I go that way, I will come to that exit on that side, and then we've got to go around one more. Yeah, it's taken a while. it is a good job. All I can say is it is a damn good job that Minecraft characters don't scar, because I would have more sharp bite holes in my legs than you would believe. It's crazy. So anyway, I'm going to need to get a whole load. Well, I need to do some tool repair and armor repair because sharks. But if you look here, that is make sure I'm not going to get at. This is as far as we, so here is where we come in this way, and then we're going to have to do a similar thing to what we did over here with this doorway that kind of sinks gently down into the ground, and then we're going to continue that round and have to do something similar over this side as well, which is going to be fun. I need a lot of wood. I'm going to need more glass, probably. Oh well, without a doubt I'm going to need more glass. I'm going to take this with me because I'm going to have to go and do some wood harvesting. But we're getting there, bit by bit, steady by steady. We're getting there. It is, I don't want to use the word, I don't want to use the phrase it's painful working underwater, because obviously the sharks make it very painful. But it is painful. We're without a doubt, without a shadow. without Scooby of a doubt in the world that it is a very. I just want to see what it looks like from up here, see whether we can get a feel for it yet. You really can't, can you? You can see, you can actually see the shape of it. So I'd love to be able to catch those butterflies and name them. That would be things. But yeah, we need to harvest trees. Now I've got two options for tree harvesting. I can either go out into the wilds. There's some big trees over that way, well, huge trees over in the desert, and go and climb up there. I can and I obviously can grab a whole load of sand while I'm out there as well, which would be a practical solution to a problem. These are what we've got on us, but so we got that to do. But first things first, we're going to need to do a little bit of AFKing, so I'll probably do that between episodes because we're getting close. We're getting close to time. We're not at time, but we're getting close to time. Get a little bit of AFKing done. The axe actually will be fine, to be fair. That would get us there, no problem. But the picks and the shovel are both starting to look a little bit sorry for themselves. So yeah, multi-flower. Getting there steadily now. I've still got my thingy on. I do need to. The other thing I'm going to need a lot of carpenter's blocks for is what I actually do want to do around this entire island, every last block of it, is I want to use carpenter's blocks and glowstone and make the entire surface of this island absolutely spawn safe. I don't want it to be a block on the actual this little island where you can spawn. Simple as. Minor small task there, something to do, you know, over weekend. But yeah, so I think we'll probably call it on that one. And this may be a bit of a short episode, but I'm just underwater building out. even after you know a few hours of it, it's like, oh god, I can't cope with any more. But we will finish it. That is my mission. I may even do a little bit more building between episodes just to try so we can get to the point where we try and catch a shark rather than just get ate by the buggers. Still love this build, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with some more with a mod pack that he's got, longevity, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Something Etho-esque style where we can continue doing things like this, but in a world where I can very carefully keep moving forwards. But I think until next episode, well, probably going to be it. And until then, thank you very much for watching, guys. As I say, please do let me know. Let me know what your book choices are. What if you had to go to the Minecraft book club? I'm going to have a little shot like this. I think there we go. What would be your book of the week? What was good reading? What kind of stuff do you think I would like based on some of the stuff that I told you? Not all of the ones I've told you, because obviously there's just too many authors to go with. But yeah, but until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.